Hello. Welcome to this day. Maybe this is the beginning of the day for you, but welcome to this day. If you are just starting your day, and if you are not, hey, hello. My name is Tiana, and we are going to get started with our 30-minute sun salutation A and B. We're bringing it back to the basics today. It is Women's History Month. If you happen to be watching this live, hello, how you doing? And we're going to get started. Now, I see already that my moderator, she was already working extra hard already before we got started. I appreciate you. And also my other moderator in the background, always assisting. I love it. It takes a team, and I'm so happy for my team. So set your watch, because my moderators normally always good at that. Go ahead and set it for yoga, because we're going to get started. Let's get ready to roll. And before we get started, of course, we have to pick our intention word. That's a must. Yesterday, it was all about authenticity. And in a true transparent moment, I said, you know what? I've been doing a lot of movement. And today is going to be about stillness and just checking some things off the list. So, in all a clear authenticity, that was how I was feeling yesterday. And that's why we're going to do just a regular flow. Because sometimes in a regular flow, you just turn your brain off and you can just get into the flow. So most of us already know the flow, the sun salutation flow. So we're going to get into that. And I think this is a very fitting word for today. Today's intention word is dedicate. And you know what? Speaking of seeing this backwards, I remember that my moderator told me I needed to make sure that this was showing the other way. Next week, that's going to be fixed. One thing at a time. Hopefully, the mic is fixed this week. All right. I see we got Tamisha, and Tamisha has been upgraded. She is also my new moderator. Hello, girl. Hello. Good morning. All right. Dedicate is the intention word. So I thank you. All right. I'm going to bring it back. We're going to come to a nice seat, and we're going to get started with our flow. Whew. Sometimes it's good to just whew. Now, I have been reading, I love reading. I've been reading a book called Breath, and we're going to be bringing a lot more focus into breath. That book is really good. So it's called Breath by James Nestor if you want to check it out. But it's a really great book all about breathing, and you just don't know how the breath helps you in many different aspects of your life. And it's even how we breathe has even changed what our faces look like. Can you believe it? So I digress. Let's go ahead and get to a comfortable seat. Doesn't have to look like this. And let's come to the breath. Place your hands into your lap. And we're going to breathe in through our nose if we can. And exhale out through the nose if we can. If not, that mouth is available. Just allow yourself to get grounded, to be settled here in this practice. And as the intention word says, maybe you want to dedicate this practice to someone or something. And, maybe that's a good word for today. So let's go ahead and relax ourselves. Get nice and still. It's nice to just have a little bit of quiet in the morning. And maybe you happen to be practicing in the middle of the day or the evening. It's never a bad time for quiet. So, as we allow ourselves to soften our bodies and to mentally arrive on the mat, just take another 2 more breaths. As we start to move our bodies, taking chin to chest, and gently bringing the chin up towards the ceiling. As our chin is up towards the ceiling, we're going to bring that chin over to our right side, my left, your right. Back up to the ceiling and over towards the opposite side. taking that chin back up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our arms up to match. So lift those arms, lift through the chest, relax the ears away from the shoulders. Palms will face each other. Allow the rib cage to open up. And on that exhale, we're going to hinge forward, seated forward, fold. Now this stretch, you may feel this in your lower back. I want you to relax those forearms. If you feel like this is too much strain on the body, walk those hands back. You can even come up. I want you to do and find what feels good for you. If it's available, walking those hands over to your right side. And back to center. And over to the opposite side. You may find that one side varies. Opposite sides may vary. And gently come back to center. And if we have our legs crossed, whatever leg was behind, let's go ahead and bring it in front. And we're going to do that same side to side. All right, so get back to your comfortable spot. Bring those arms up overhead. Lift, lift, lift through the chest. And exhale, seated forward, fold, wherever you are. So the reason that we cross our legs differently is because that one hip, now you get to work the other hip. Now this may have a little bit more resistance because typically, however we cross our legs when we first sit down, that's our go-to. And this one is the one that's just the other one. So it may be a little bit more resistant. Walk your hands over to the right. Feeling that stretch along our full side body. Back to center. And over to the opposite side. Gently coming back to center. And let's begin to walk our hands back up towards our body. Come to a nice comfortable seat. We're going to come to that tabletop position because we have sun salutation A and B to do today. So let's come to a nice tabletop. Knees are stacked underneath of our hips. Wrists are stacked underneath of those shoulders. You can always rotate those fingers to the outside corners of your mat. If there's any tension on the wrists, let's start our cow catch. You know we do cow first. Lower the belly. Gaze up. On that exhale, tuck the chin and tuck the tailbone. Arch the spine, press into the fingertips. And let's reverse. And again for cat. Exhale. Trying to get that breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice fluid breathing here. And last one. Coming back to tabletop, we're going to tuck our toes underneath. Shift the weight back, toe stretch here. Just notice how that feels in the body. Maybe we give it a little rock from side to side. And we're going to start our movement. Are you ready? Let's bring it forward. And we're going to bring our knees up for our first downward facing dog. Bring your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Let's pedal our feet for our first downward facing dog. So those fingertips point towards the top of the mat. We're bringing down one heel at a time. And when you feel like, okay, I think I've warmed up the back of these legs, you can bring those heels to stillness. Shift the weight towards the heels. Press away with your fingertips. Tuck your chin into your chest, walking your gaze from your toes to your knees and up towards your belly. Relax your shoulders. Let's go ahead and bend into those knees. Walk your hands towards your feet. Come into the back of your mat. Belly's on the thigh. Nice generous bend. Give it a rock from side to side. Let's feel those hamstrings. Come into stillness in our forward fold. Just taking a pause here. This is our first one. Shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Just notice how that feels. Let's grab opposite elbows. Allow our bodies to hinge forward a little bit more. This is our first one, so we want to warm up our body. Breathe. Feel that tension in the hips and the belly start to surrender. Release the hands. Press into the feet. Let's gently curl up. 1 inch, 1 vertebrae. Stacking our spine, bringing those arms up overhead. Gaze up towards the hands. Slight back bend here. On that exhale, let's bring those hands down and let's walk towards the first third of our mat. Let's leave some room. All right, thanks to this artisanation mat, I have kind of like a middle and a top, a middle and a back, right? It's already kind of sectioned out for me. We're going to start back in our mountain pose. We're getting into that sun salutation. Remember, we're turning our brain off. We're going to do our sun salutations A. We're going to do about 5 of them. And then we're going to do our sun salutations B, about 5 of them, and bring ourselves back down. You ready? All right, let's bring ourselves to our mountain pose. Keep me honest with the count. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Gaze up towards those hands. Exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips. Bend those knees, come down, forward fold. Let's go ahead and take a flat back right here. We're going to plant the hands. We're going to come to a tabletop first. I always like to show you how maybe you can do things. You can come to that tabletop. If you'd like to get on your belly, you can lean forward. If you'd like to take downward facing dog, go ahead and push up. If you'd like to come down onto your belly, we can lower all the way down. We're untucking those toes, bringing our hands under our shoulders, slowly lift up through the chest. Let's strengthen and really warm up that lower back. Lower down the head, tuck the toes, come to your tabletop, and then downward facing dog. You can take your forward fold, front or back of the mat, whichever you decide. We're going to come to that forward fold. I'm going to come to the front of the mat. You do what works for you. On that inhale, let's come all the way up. Yes. All right, if you're not at the front of the mat, go ahead and come to the front of the mat. Meet me here. Meet me here. All right. On that exhale, let's go ahead and forward fold again. This is number 2. Keep me honest with the count. Let's take a flat back. Plant the hands, step back. Maybe you'd like to come to a plank this time. Maybe you'd like to push back to chaturanga. There's options, there's levels. If you'd like to take your chaturanga, we're going to hinge forward where the heels are over the toes, right stacked in line. Our shoulders are right underneath, wrists are right under our shoulders, and we're going to lower down halfway, hover here, and then press up. Open up through that chest, make it nice and juicy. You can always take those knees down, whatever feels good for you. We're going to push back, tuck our toes. We're back in that downward facing dog. We all meet right here. Let's take one more full cycle of breath, tucking our chin, gazing up towards the belly. Gaze towards the hands, forward fold, front or back of the mat. Inhale, bring it all the way up. All right. On that exhale, let's hinge it forward. Are we at number 3? Keep me honest. Flat back here. Plant the hand, step it back. We're going to flow it out however you like to flow. Whatever's in your heart. You can always push back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to take chaturanga, of course, we take that and we hover. And then we push up. Chaturangas are all about the upper body strength. No belly flops here. Push back, downward facing dog. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring it towards the front of the mat. Inhale, bring it up. All right, last sun salutation, A. Exhale, forward fold. You keeping me honest with the count? I like how the music said, yeah, yeah, yeah. Flat back here. Exhale, let's push it back and we flow to our downward facing dog. Push back, downward facing dog. Let's lean it forward and let's come to our forward fold. Inhale, bring those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring those hands down to mountain pose. We're going to come back to our breath. Roll the shoulders. All right, are we ready to start our sun salutation B? All right, sun salutation B. Remember, there's a little bit more to it than sun salutation A, all right? You remember? We're going to go through it on this first one. Now, we still keep our toes tracked towards the front. Our feet are about hip distance apart. For our Ashtangis, feel free to take them together. I'm teaching more of an all levels course, so if you already know how to do it, let's go ahead and flow. We're going to bend our knees. We're going to graze our fingertips so that it almost touches the ground, and we're going to sit in our chair pose first. You can keep those knees together apart. We're going to shift the weight into the heels. Begin to gently scoop the tailbone and tuck the tailbone in. Nice long back. Take one more full cycle of breath in this chair, in this little squat. And on that exhale, let's hinge it forward, forward fold. Let's take our flat back. Plant the hands, step it back, and flow to our downward facing dog. You already know where we're going with this one. Downward facing dog. Now this is where we start to get different from A to B. We're going to begin to bring that right leg forward. So if you'd like, you can begin to come down onto your knee to bring that right foot forward and then push up. Or from downward facing dog, you can lift that right leg, open it up, three-legged dog here. And then arch into the spine, lift the knee to chest, and bring the foot forward. However you like to get there. We're going to spin that back heel. Bend into that front knee, and let's come all the way up, warrior one. All right. However you get there. Get comfortable in your body, knee tracks over ankle. We just see that big toe. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Oh, nice and strong. We're balanced on the back pinky toe edge and the front foot. Now, before we get fancy, we're going to go ahead and come out of this. So windmill those hands down, step that front foot back, and we're going to go ahead and flow it out. So we're going to shift forward, take it down, push up, upward facing dog, push back. We come back to our downward facing dog. Now, again, we're going to do the same thing on the next leg. You're welcome to get there however you'd like. If you'd like to lift that opposite leg up and bend it open, three-legged dog, and then bring that knee to chest. We lift up on that back heel, on that back ball of the foot. Lift the heel, bring the foot through. There we go. Once you're nice and grounded, we're going to spin on that back foot, 45 degrees, and let's come on up. Whew. Now we're on the other side. Bend into that front knee. Get nice and low. Warrior one. Let's open it out. Warrior two. Yes. And before we get fancy, we're going to get fancy on the second round. Let's go ahead and windmill the hands down. And we step it back and we flow it out. All right. Now we have to finish it off. Let's gaze towards the hands And you can walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Come back to your chair pose. All right, let's go ahead and bring ourselves up to standing. That was just one. How about we do at least three more? Can we do three more? We got it in us. We got this. All right, inhale. Let's go ahead and inhale, and we're going to bring ourselves to our chair pose. Exhale into that chair. Inhale in, exhale. Let's forward fold. Flat back. Step back and flow. We're going to meet in our downward facing dog. However you'd like to get there. Push back, downward facing dog. We're going to bring that right foot forward. Bring it through and frame the hands. Pivot the back foot, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Bend into that front knee. And now we can start to get a little bit fancy. Can we reverse the warrior? Take the back hand down, front hand comes up. On that exhale, let's windmill the hands down. And instead of going through the flow, we're going to push back to downward facing dog, save our arms, and we're going to start with the next leg. So let's lift up the opposite leg, bring it through, frame the hands, pivot that foot, open up, warrior two. Yes. Oh, warrior one, now warrior two. You know what I meant, right? There we go. Inhale, let's reverse the warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step it back. This time we're going to flow to our chair. So downward facing dog. Let's bring it forward. Flowing it out. Come back to your down dog. We can walk, step, or jump to our chair. All right, on that exhale, we're going to go right back into the last one, forward fold. Let's take a flat back. Plant the hands, step back. Let's step back and flow to our downward facing dog. You can walk, step, or jump. Lower down, chaturanga, or maybe you're already in your downward facing dog. And we all meet. Gonna come back to that right leg. Bring it through. Warrior one. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior. Windmill the hand down. Step it back. And let's come back to our downward facing dog. We're gonna start again on that opposite leg. Lift the leg. Bring it through. Warrior one. This is our last one. You ready? That 30 minutes went fast. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hand down. We step it back and we flow it out. We come to our downward facing dog. Gazing towards the hands, walk, step, or jump. Sit back in your chair. On that exhale, let's go ahead and stand. Whew. How we feeling? That was a lot. Rock it out. Rock it out, rock it out. All right, let's go ahead and lower ourselves down. We're gonna come down onto that mat. I got you. Let's bring ourselves all the way down because we got to do a little bit of a stretch down on the ground. So give it a little rock from side to side. Bring your hands behind you. Extend those fingertips out behind you. Let's take those knees down. I'm going to start with the right side. Look away from your knees. Lift through the chest. Take it back up to center. and over to the opposite side. Look away from your knees. You got this. Take it back up. And we're going to butterfly those knees out, soles of the feet to touch. Come back up into a comfortable seat. You can grip your feet. Sitting up nice and tall. Maybe start to hinge forward if that feels good. Let's open up through our inner thighs. Give it a rock. Let's come to a nice little twist. Just moving our head behind us. Gently coming back to center over to the opposite side. You got this. Nice cool down. I feel that in my upper back. Come back to center. We're going to close those thighs up like a book, and we're going to come down onto our backs. So I want you to come down onto your back, hug your knees into the chest, give it a rock from side to side. We're going to release one leg down, all the way down to the ground, nice and straight, keeping the other knee into the chest. Cross it over the body. We're going to bring that back hand out to a T or goalpost, depending on how much room you have. Look away from your knee. Let's give that lower back a little twist. Here's where you release the breathing. Just let it relax. Release your body. Any tension that you feel you're holding on to. Come back onto your back. Bring that knee into the chest. And see if you can bring that knee towards the elbow. Almost a half happy baby here. So bringing that knee towards the elbow. And now let's swap it out. So we're going to inhale in, exhale, swap the legs. Let's hold on to the opposite leg. Give it a little rock from side to side. And let's cross that knee over the body. Cross it over, look back, away from your knees. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Again, opposite sides may vary. I want you to take a nice full breath, preferably in through the nose and out through the nose. Gently come back onto your back. Bring that knee back into the chest. If you can get it towards that elbow. And then we're going to hug both knees towards our elbows. So hug them out nice and wide. The lower back is on the mat, nice and flat. We're going to take our knees together, take those feet up towards the ceiling, flex your toes towards your body. Flex them down, point them up. Flex them down, point them up. We're going to bring our hands overhead where we're holding an imaginary ball almost over our head. Palms will face each other. And then begin to lower your feet down. Now those feet are zipped up nice and tight together. Lower your feet down together, all the way down, all the way, until they come all the way down to the ground. We're going to bring our hands down by our side with our palms faced up. Come into a nice, comfortable position. Now, if you feel like you want to take a couple more breaths to do any posture that feels good to you, I invite you to do so. If you'd like to settle into your Shavasana, releasing the toes, softening your ankles, and your knees, allowing your glutes to soften and uncurling your fingers, melting your shoulders into the mat, unclenching your jaw, releasing the tension from your eyes, and surrendering your head, observing your breath. We're going to take a few breaths of silence, and I'll be right here holding space, and I'll let you know when to come back. And as gently as we came into this Shavasana, this space of rest, we begin to bring ourselves out, but not thinking about ending our practice, but just extending our practice beyond the mat. That dedication that we made in the beginning of our practice, we continue to rededicate to ourselves and rededicate to our practice. So, wiggling our fingers and our toes, we bring one knee into our chest on the exhale. Inhale in and exhale, bringing the next knee into the chest. As we gently begin to rock from side to side and to come to one comfortable side, cradling your head. We're going to use that top hand to gently push ourselves up to any comfortable seat. We're going to take those hands to heart center, our thumbs to our chest. And I want you to thank yourself for dedicating time, showing up for you today. I want you to thank your body for showing up and supporting you in the practice today. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your day and your journey. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. And thank you for being a part of my journey. Cannot wait to practice with you again. Until next time, namaste. All right. How is that traditional sun salutations A and B? It's also known as our Surya Namaskar A and B. So, hope you enjoyed that. Um, these are really great practices that can warm up your body, get you ready for the day. It goes through all parts of the body. So if you're ever like, I don't know what to practice, you can always go into the sun salutation flow. All right, we're gonna turn up the vibe and the energy just a little bit, right? Oh, I like that song. Hold on, gotta go back. There we go. All right. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I see we have Michael. Hello, good morning. Can't wait to stretch to start your day. I'm gonna hold you to that. We got the Hate Comes with the Plate. Good morning, happy Saturday, Tianna, and to y'all. Hey, hey. All right, don't forget to check out the podcast. Hate Comes with the Plate. It is a really good podcast. Check it out. It's right on YouTube. Hey yo, that was dope 100%. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Tamisha said thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much, Tamisha. Twitch said don't forget to turn off your smartwatch. Thank you. End. Thank you so much to my moderator. Thank you so much for being a part of it. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And remember to tell a friend, to tell a friend. We're at 3,600 subscribers. And you know what? We are almost at our anniversary. April is the anniversary of this class. We have been doing this since 2020, April 2020. So we're almost at the anniversary. So remember to tell a friend, and I will see you next week. All right? I'm out of here. If you don't do nothing else, you've done something today. All right? I don't want to do the Kendrick, but I'm going to get on out of here. All right?